Welcome to the May webinar addressing the June and end-of-year tasks. My name is Mary Beth Granderson, and I'm your school's SI2 Strategic Planning Specialist. So glad that you're with us today. Let's get started. Looking at today's agenda, we will be looking at the June task and submission items, which include highly qualified teacher chart, highly qualified paraprofessional chart, the funding summary, and the final review of the SIP. We'll also look at the end-of-year tasks, which include download of the PDF, approval memo, the SI2 enrollment for the 2014-15 services, and the steering team for next year. Okay, let's get started with the June tasks and submission items. On your home page, most everything should be completed at this point. You should have meets criteria on everything from September through April. You know, there are still a few schools that are working on finishing their April items, the strategy implementation plans and professional development summary. We hope the schools will have those finished up this week. Also this week, I'd like for you to look at your highly qualified teacher chart and get that uploaded. So let's have a look at the highly qualified teacher chart, how to download and complete that. To download the highly qualified teacher chart, you simply click on the actual words, highly qualified teacher chart. It should download as a Word document. You will need to save it, the blank document, to your laptop or computer. Okay. Give it a file name that you understand, so you could put it in your documents. What I would suggest doing is putting your school name here or the year, maybe 2014, highly qualified teacher chart, dash, and then your school name. Okay, you want to save that. And on this chart, there are directions at the top. You could disregard that it says Title I School-Wide Toolkit. This is a component of the toolkit, but it is required for all Indiana schools to have a highly qualified teacher roster. So you'll enter the names of each teacher and their teaching assignment. Okay, we have Sarah Jones in grade 1. She has a valid Indiana license, so I'm going to put an X in that box. Depending on how picky you are, you can center it. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to be picky, just to indicate that the person has a teaching license that's valid in Indiana. And then for an elementary, for a kindergarten through 6th grade teacher or a teaching assignment, you need to indicate one of these 3 ways that a teacher has shown that they are highly qualified, either by taking the Praxis 2 exam, the NTE, or completing the House of 100 points and earning 100 points on the rubric. Now on the House item, in 2011, DOE passed that only teachers who were employed, I believe in 2007-8 during that school year or prior, are eligible to use the House, because any teacher who would have been employed after that time would have been asked to take a Praxis exam or the NTE. So if you have any questions about how to complete this form, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I can help you clarify, hopefully understand better what they're asking. So you list your teachers, their assignment, mark that they have a valid license, and then mark one of the other ways that they show they're highly qualified. In Indiana, you must have a license and show one of these ways to be highly qualified. So you enter all your teachers, and then you'll just save this. Okay. And then when you open your online system, you will see the upload button to upload the file. And I must have timed out on my login. I'll have to re-enter my password, possibly. Okay, well, it's not letting me log in. Okay. Okay. The next slide on the PowerPoint are simply the instructions that I just talked through and showed you online for reference for later. These are the steps for the highly qualified teacher chart. And then the next slide shows the highly qualified paraprofessional chart, which is very similar to the highly qualified teacher chart, completing it and uploading it. I'm going to try to get back to the online system so that I can show you how to upload your, there we go, how to upload your document. So you're on your home page, you've signed in, you're at your home page, you're ready to upload your highly qualified teacher chart, so you click on the upload file. You're going to browse your files and find the one that you saved that under. Okay. Make sure highly qualified teacher chart is in the box. After you browse, you should see the name of the file appear here to the right of the browse button. You'll want to check the box to say, yes, I'm sure that I want to upload this. I'm ready for it to be reviewed, and submit. Okay. You go back to home, scroll down. You should see the submitted indicator. You can also open the document that you've submitted to check it by clicking on the print icon. Okay, so it will open and you'll be able to review the item that you just submitted. So there's our Sarah Jones grade 1. Okay. And you do the same thing for the highly qualified paraprofessional chart. Click on the actual words, save it to a file, I have a new version of Word and Windows that I'm trying to get used to, so sorry this is a little bit sketchy. You'll want to change the file name to a name that you recognize. Maybe put the year. Okay. And now you're ready. You've saved it to your computer. You're ready to edit it. So you'll enter the paraprofessional's name. Now, this document, you'll only want to record your paraprofessionals that are served in an instructional capacity in your building. So you will list the folks here, and then put their name. You can put the instructional role they play, but you don't have to. It's not required. And then the method by which the paraprofessional became highly qualified. So to be highly qualified as a paraprofessional, the person needs to have their associate degree, a minimum of 2 years of college, or have passed the Parapro test. Sam has passed the Parapro test. Okay, so that's what we will indicate for him. We will save. I also recommend that you save both the highly qualified teacher chart and the highly qualified paraprofessional chart on a portable storage device so that you have these available to you just to update from year to year. Then you don't have to re-download them unless the form changed, but you would have all the information readily available to you. And then you'll also upload that file. So as you browse through your documents, you will find your 2014 Highly Qualified Paraprofessional. Open it. Once you have opened it in the Browse section, you'll see the name of the document appear to the right. Check the box to confirm and submit. You go back home. You will see that the document, when you scroll down, has been submitted. And you can also review the document by clicking on the print icon, just to make sure that you uploaded the correct document. If you did not upload the correct document, if you open this and you find it's not the correct document, you can go back to the upload and upload the correct one. It will have this red writing that says you already have one uploaded and submitted, but that's okay. You just rebrowse and re-upload, and it replaces the old one with the new one. Okay, back on the home site, there's one additional document that is due by May 31st, and that is your funding summary. And again, you'll click on the funding summary to open it. You'll save it to your portable device. I don't have a portable device plugged in, so I'm just saving it to my documents. And again, you will maybe put the year in. SIP funding summary and your school name. Okay, and then on the funding summary, again, there are instructions at the top, and if you have any questions about those instructions, don't hesitate to contact me. In the first row, I get a lot of questions about this every year, so I want to make sure I cover this clearly. Under the required strategies, there are 5 required strategies required by PL 221. They are encourage rigorous curriculum, attendance, focused academic area, focused student group, and the graduation plan. Now, if you have multiple encourage rigorous curriculums, you'll just add them, and this works if you've opened it in Word. It is just a table. So if you click into the encourage rigorous curriculum, you should have a table tool that opens up here, and you're going to insert to the right a column. And don't worry about this formatting up here, it's fine. You can enter your subtitle, so if it's differentiated instruction. And you can adjust these so that you can read them. Okay. You can also change the font. Oops. You have to know how to operate your cursor though to do that. Maybe we'll make it 8. And we can see all of the words. And then encourage rigorous curriculum here. Maybe you have 2 encourage rigorous curriculums. And the second one is curriculum mapping. Oops. Wow, I wonder what the spelling's going to look like. The typing got a little bit crazy. Let's see. Make those all 8. Okay, so you can take the time to format this so that it makes sense for you in your plan. Whoops. I didn't quite have the whole row there. Okay, so curriculum mapping got a little bit messy. Okay, your attendance, focus academic area. So your focus academic area, you can add a subtitle there. Maybe it is math. Your focus student group is free reduced lunch students. So you can add your subtitle there. You can also add strategies over here under local. You could also delete these columns that you don't need. Maybe you can try that. It might delete something else sometimes. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, so the most important thing is that you have, let's see, I'm going to undo that and just delete a couple of these. Not that one. Okay, so you can format this. You kind of get the idea of how to format it. And then you look down through the funding sources and identify which funding sources will support your strategies. If you have Title I strategies, you'll want to list those. For instance, if you have a parent involvement, if you're a Title I school, parent involvement is part of one of your strategies in the school improvement plan, then you'll want to include that here. If you have an annual parent meeting, etc. You just want to make sure that all of the strategies are listed here. Okay, and then back to what I was started to say, you check your funding sources. So if you are receiving the DOE Professional Development Grant to help you do your curriculum mapping, you will indicate that part of the funding for your curriculum mapping is coming from a professional development grant. Title I has several parts. If you're using Part A to improve academic achievement of your free and reduced lunch students, then you will indicate that under your focus student group. Okay, so you get the idea. You go through each funding source. If you have a grant that you've received from a local, the local community foundation, that is going to support your graduation plan, then you'll want to indicate that there. Okay. Now, if you're using absolutely no funds to support the strategies of your school improvement plan, there's a box here for you to indicate that. That's highly unusual, but it is possible, so we've included that as an option. Okay, so once you have your chart completed, you'll want to save. And upload. So you'll go down to your funding summary, click on the upload file. Should have funding summary should appear in the box for the item that you're submitting, and then you browse through and find the document that you're uploading, your funding summary. Make sure that the correct file name appears out to the right of the browse. Check the box and submit. Okay, then you're back on home. That completes the items that are due May 31st, which most schools will be completing those through maybe into June. And some schools may have completed them earlier as well, because they can be done before the strategies are completed. So, okay, the ultimate goal here is to get to where you can submit the SIP for a final review. You'll notice this isn't hot down here yet, and that's because we still have these 3 items that have not been reviewed and approved. So real quick, I'm going to review those and approve them. Get a little glimpse at the side we work from in the online system. Okay. If we refresh the screen. Okay, the online status of those have updated. And now this icon is live and it can be submitted for final review. If it looks like everything down here at the bottom or everything is ready, but this button is still, this icon is still not live, before you contact me, please check carefully, go back up through from the top to the bottom of the list. Every item on the list should have some form of meets criteria or not required this year. So you scroll down through and you check each one of these. Here's where sometimes they get missed. On the individual strategy plan status, once the titles and descriptions are approved, there will be a meets criteria directly above that, see in that gray colored box. with it. So the other place is on the implementation plans, because there's individual strategy plan status, and then it shows the overall status of all the implementation plans. There should be a meets criteria there. If there is not, then you'll need to click on your individual strategy plan status and check those. You may have one here that was marked needs revision that you had missed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have changed that. Once all of those are meets criteria, you will see a meets criteria out here on your home page to the far right of the implementation plans. So once everything has met criteria, this is live and you can submit it. It will come over to my attention and I'll review, give everything a final review, mark the certifications as meets criteria. Now this is a really quick version of what I usually do. Just for the example here though, in the demo school it works fine. Okay. So then once all the certifications are reviewed and your plan is approved, you will see the balloons on your page. Okay, I'm going to jump back to the PowerPoint real quick because before we go on, I want to show you this next slide, which is the directions for the funding summary and the step-by-step on how to do it. Again, just a reminder, if you save those to a portable storage device, they'll be there for next year. And then here is the summary of what we're getting ready to talk about as far as your final review of your SIP. So let's go back there real quick to the online system. Okay, once your balloons appear, the download PDF button will appear and the approval memo will appear. The approval memo is a letter that you can use to share with your stakeholders that announces that your school improvement plan is completed and the criteria that it has met. On the download PDF button, there are instructions for how to edit the school improvement plan. If you scroll down, there are also instructions on how to submit your plan to DOE. This year, the due date for uploading your SIP to DOE is September 15th. All the instructions are here. Okay. Now, before you upload or you're completely finished, we recommend that you download your original PDF. It will open, of course, as a PDF file, and you either review it on your computer or you print it and have your entire steering team take a look. And a lot of times who wrote the school improvement plan is an area that we find that you want to edit, that you might want to edit, because you've on the steering team, you maybe have misspelled someone's name, or on the community council, it will list the person's name. This is our sample, so it just says council member 1, but that would be a name on yours. And then it tells the stakeholder group they represent. So this community member 1 is a parent, 10 is a local government person, 11 is a local government, 12 is community agency. As you read through your community council roster, you'll want to make sure that it's clear what stakeholder group that person represents and that the stakeholder group is spelled correctly, and maybe there's some consistency in identifying those different groups of people. So that's usually one area where folks want to edit. The other one might be in the vision statement, because maybe this is the first time you've looked at the vision statement, because when you were typing it in, you just looked at it in chunks and of where you were entering the text, and you didn't read the whole thing. So this is an opportunity for you to read through your vision statement. Make sure it sounds, make sure it reflects what you want to say. And then if there are edits needed, there are instructions here for editing. Okay? You just click on that. And you scroll down. Again, you don't want to make any major changes. These are just errors of omission or grammar or spelling, those kind of things. And from this page, you can do all the editing that you need to. It will take you to your community council roster where you can edit it. And you want to remember that once you're finished editing, always save. Always remember to hit that save, because you're on a website and not in a Word document. So it's very important to tell it what you want it to do. Okay. Then once you're finished editing and the plan is where you want it to be, it looks exactly the way you want it to be. Let me back up a minute. If you make edits, you'll need to generate an updated PDF. So if you've gone into the instructions for editing and you have made changes, you will need to follow this edits complete and generate an updated PDF report now. When you click on this button, it'll take probably 20 to 30 seconds for the system to regenerate. What it's doing is just making a new PDF with the changes you just saved. And then up here under Download the School Improvement Plan, a second PDF icon will appear, and it will say Download Current Document. Anytime it says Current Document, it's the latest document, the one that you edited. So ideally, you'll only want to do this once to generate an updated PDF, but you can do it more than once. I wouldn't recommend it, but try to get all those changes made the first time. But the most recent update will appear in the Download the Current document. I'm going to go ahead and do this just so you can see what happens. So it takes a few seconds for it to generate a new one. And then after we have made changes and saved them, here's our Download our Current document. The original document is the one that was approved by ASA, and the current document is the one that contains the edits after we approved it. Okay? All right, you go back to home, and again, how do you get to where you can download your PDF and see it? On this button, Download PDF. There's your original, there's your current, and if you scroll down, there are the instructions for editing and the instructions for submitting by September 15th. Okay. End of year tasks. Okay, on June 30th, ASA will submit a list of all the SI2 schools that have approved SIPs to the Indiana Department of Education. In order to be on that list that we submit, you will need to have all of your tasks completed by June 16th. Make sure that you have everything completed by June 16th, because our ASA will submit a list to IDOE by June 30th. On September 15th, schools or by September 15th, schools should upload their PDF that represents their 2014-15 school improvement plan to the Indiana Department of Ed using the DOE online system. The principals and superintendents are the school representatives that have access to the DOE online. So it will require that the principal upload the PDF of the school improvement plan. And again, you'll want to have that completed by the 15th of September. So once you have your balloons, you've made your edits, if needed, your PDF is ready. So that September 15th deadline is, you've already created the SIP that you need for that due date, basically. You would have to check with DOE, but I believe the legal standards page of DOE online is already open and available for you to upload your PDF. So once you have your balloons and you've reviewed it, I believe they are ready. It's set up and ready for you to go ahead and do that. Again, here are the instructions that we just went through in the online system about downloading the PDF and proofreading it. These are just for your future reference. This slide describes how to generate an updated PDF, just like what we walked through. This describes the approval memo. Okay, and then the final task for June is to complete your SI2 enrollment for your 2014-15 SI2 services. The enrollment this year is online. There is a link on the ASA website. Okay, here's the ASA homepage, and over on the right it says SI2 2014 enrollment. Here's the enrollment. Here's the copy of the mailing that went out to the principals. And here's also, if you're a newer principal, or if your school will be getting a new principal next year, you may want to ask the principal to view the intro webinar to determine if they want to sign the school up or not. Also, if you have other schools in your district that do not use SI2 but are interested in using SI2 or learning more about it, you can share this link to the intro webinar with them, and they can go online and find out more about SI2 and the benefits of enrolling in SI2. Okay, you'll want to complete the enrollment based on the services that you need from ASA this year. Oh, and you want to have it submitted by July 1st. If you have any questions, you can contact me. My contact information will be at the end of the presentation. As you look forward to next year in SI2, you can go ahead and identify your steering team members for 2014-15. You can't put them online yet. You can't update the steering team roster yet. You'll have to wait till the system turns over, which will be after September 15th. But you can go ahead and identify in your building who those folks will be, and start talking about the responsibilities that they would have. You may want to go ahead and schedule your steering team prep meetings for the first week or two that you're back in school, and then possibly go ahead and schedule your local meetings, your faculty meetings, your community council meetings, and your student body meetings for the whole year. And then again, the system turns over following the DOE due date for the school improvement plan, which right now is September 15th. Okay, now before I go on to June goals, I'm going to look and see if anyone has any questions. If there are any hands raised, I don't see any. So I'm just going to go on with the June goals. Okay, we know that each school works through the process at its own pace. However, we're getting down to the final weeks of planning, and there are some goals that each school must meet. Before June 15th, this should say 16th, June 15th is on a Sunday, but by June 16th, which is a Monday, please have all your May items submitted and approved. Those are the 3 items that we reviewed today. The highly qualified teacher chart, the highly qualified paraprofessional chart, and the funding summary. You should, by June 15th, have balloons on your home page. That means everything is completed and you've submitted the SIP for that final review and OK on the certifications. You should also have reviewed your PDF and made any needed edits by June 15th. Okay? Because on June 30th, ASA will submit a list of the schools to DOE with approved SIPs. Okay, the other June goal is to complete your SI2 enrollment for your 14-15 services. So we want to have an idea of who will be on board with us next year so that our director can make plans for that, to make sure everyone gets the services that they need and we have the staff available to serve your needs. So please have your SI2 enrollment form completed by July 1st. The webinars are available online, and then the first webinar for the 14-15 year will be in August, and the registration will open August 1st. And watch for the information on the date in your August update. Okay, thank you so much for attending, and please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. You can reach me by phone at 812-349-4142, and I'm at extension 1003. Or you can reach me by email, granderson@asainstitute.org. Okay, well, thanks again for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful day.